at undisclosed schools who have been diagnosed as AIDS carriers.
As parents picked up for a third day in protest to the admission of one unnamed student with AIDS, New York's schools chancellor was widening the number of people with AIDS who may be allowed in school in the future. Nathan Quinones announced 8 school staff members came down with confirmed cases of AIDS in the last year. 3 have since died. But if any of the remaining 5 can prove they've recovered sufficiently to return to work, they'll be let back in school.
Keep AIDS out!
Parents who had been protesting just one AIDS child in school now face the possibility of adults with AIDS teaching their children or serving them food. An official of one community school board said one of the adult AIDS victims who died was a food handler who served hundreds of children a day.
It's a cover-up. The chancellor has been forced to notify the community that, yes, members of the Board of Education staff have AIDS. This person has died. The community school district that this person worked in and handled food for an entire school has not been notified. We have not been officially notified. We learned from the streets.
A tragic car accident in Italy has left a young Melbourne man paralysed and his family financially crippled. He's due back in Australia tomorrow, but could soon find himself homeless. Our European correspondent, Scott Chisholm, reports his father is having to sell the family house to meet some of the huge medical and airline bills.
23-year-old Bruno Scalaro flew into London's Heathrow Airport on his way back to Melbourne from what should have been the holiday of a lifetime. Instead, his life is in ruins. He'd saved for years to fly to Italy to meet the relations he had never seen. 2 days after his arrival, a 3-car pile-up left 3 of his cousins dead and Bruno fighting for his life. If it wasn't for the Italian government, he wouldn't be on his way home. They provided an Air Force jet to London free of charge. But the hospital bills, doctor's fees, ambulance costs and the Qantas flight to Melbourne will soon have to be paid. The total bill will be so immense, Bruno's father has no idea how much it will be or how he'll be able to pay it. His mother Giovanna is shattered, but thankful Bruno is alive. Pictures of the car in which he was a passenger show just how lucky he was to survive. For the rest of his life, though, he'll have the limited use only of his right arm. His father will be in debt for the rest of his life.
I've got to sell the house I'm on the 5 because the boy got to be in a wheelchair forever.
So you're prepared to sell your house?
Well, yes.
How is Bruno?
Bruno is well. Look forward to go home. He wants to...
Another sport which started in America has now spread to Europe. It's called a tractor pull, and the first European competition has just been held in France.
Not exactly a car, not exactly a tractor. The tractor saw is built for speed and power. It may have some uses around the farm, but it is also the essential element in a motorsport which is fast catching on in Europe. The high-powered beast of burden can pull weights of up to 15 tons over a measured distance against the clock. Competition only began a year ago in France, but 8,000 spectators recently turned up to this rally. The machines offer technical challenges. Popeye from Belgium is powered by a Second World War aircraft engine. And the skilled driver gets a chance to show them all just how nimble a tractor saw can be. Tractor manufacturers might shudder, but the crowd seem to like it.
Finally, the weather, it'll be cool tonight, followed by a cool to mild day, brief sunny periods. However, a few showers will persist. Winds will be moderate to fresh, southwest to southeast. Sea slight to moderate on a low to moderate swell. The expected temperature range, city 12 overnight to a top of 18, out west as low as 9 to a top of 19. Ron Wilson will be here with the first news of the day during Good Morning Australia from 7 o'clock. For now, Dal Myles, good night.
The key is E, and the E is Mazda. Mazda E, the key to hot muscle, the key to high energy, the key to economy, the key to capacity. Mazda E is the key to the vans that carry the badge that carries the weight. Mazda E is the key to carry.
Debbie Byrne in Rebel, Wendy Hughes in An Indecent Obsession, Chris Hayward in A Street to Die, and Noni Hazelhurst in Fran. Just some of the contenders in this year's nominations for the Australian Film Institute Awards. Saturday night, we'll be presenting this spectacular 2-hour telecast where the film industry comes together to acknowledge the best Aussie films of the year. Join host Gary McDonald and guests Brian Brown and Rachel Ward for the AFI Awards. Saturday, 8:30, sponsored by Westpac.
Yes, you're home on 10. Smile never ends. When you're at home, you're home on 10.
This program is proudly brought to you by Toyota.